What's going on, YouTube? Jeremy D. Glass here, aka I'm a fucking drunk, y'all. And tonight, it is Saturday, April 4th, and I am reviewing the first night of WrestleMania. Now, this year's WrestleMania is a lot different due to the whole coronavirus bullshit pandemic that's going on right now in the world. But that has caused some weird things to happen. For one, there's no crowd. For two, for some reason they split it into two nights. Don't know really why, but they have. And tonight we're just reviewing part 1 of WrestleMania, night 1, April 4th. So going into this, I had very, very low expectations because I've not been enjoying the audience-less shows that they've been putting on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. I haven't really been enjoying those. Now, as I came in with very low expectations, and the card for the night started off really bad. Started off with Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross facing off for the titles, for the women's tag team titles against the Kabuki Warriors. Ignore me here, I'm just making a drink. Now, this wasn't a match I was really excited for, mainly because, like I said, I hadn't really been getting into the audience-less shows, so the hype for some of these matches just haven't had the same kind of build-up that the WrestleMania's had in the past with build-ups. So, going into the match, said not really interested in it, but Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross came out on top. It wasn't that good of a match, in my opinion. Kind of kept me snoozing along, honestly, and I just kind of looked at my phone the entire time because it was bad. In my opinion, it was bad. I didn't like it. And it's like I said, it's nothing against the wrestlers' talent. It's nothing against the WWE. I just did not enjoy WrestleMania tonight due to the fact that the fanfare, the whole anticipation, the crowd buildup wasn't there. And it really shows how big a part that the crowd plays in making these shows spectacular. Moving on, what was the next match? Honestly, I can't even remember the next match. I've fucking been drinking a lot. Can't even remember the next match. We'll go on from there. I know another match was Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch. That match did not enjoy one bit. We'll keep moving on. Another match was the tag team title match, triple threat for the SmackDown tag team titles. That match was that match had its moments. It's one of those matches that could have been great if it was a true WrestleMania match. Just due to the lack of crowd and stuff, the match kind of fell flat, but had its moments where like that could have been really badass watching it, like how it should have been. Another match, Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. Technical match, in most of its standpoint. I mean, Daniel Bryan matches are generally that. All right, let's stop talking about the negatives, because I mean, overall, the night was a big flop. I did not enjoy myself watching it, and it kind of sucks that I wasted my time watching it. I didn't enjoy it. Moving on. There was 2 matches that did stand out to me that I did really actually enjoy, and that was the Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens match. Well, I say match is. I did enjoy those, but the big highlight of the entire night. Well, let's get one more negative. The Goldberg Braun Strowman match was horrible. There was literally only 2 moves used in the entire match, and that was the spear and the power slam. That was it. That was the only 2 moves in the entire match that were used. Moving on from that, let's go to the highlight of the night. The only thing that redeemed this night, and I say redeem in a loose term because the night still sucked. WrestleMania Part 1 sucked. WrestleMania Part 1 2020 was just god-awful to watch. But the match that was definitely worth the watch, in which I applaud WWE for what they did and how they did this match, was the Boneyard match between Undertaker and Styles. Now, watching some of Undertaker's promos from the past few weeks, you could tell he was kind of getting ready to bring back the American Badass Undertaker. And the way the match started was a hearse coming out, the Undertaker's normal music coming out, then the Druid pulling out a casket, but AJ Styles came out of it laughing, mocking the Undertaker. I was like, okay, so that wasn't Taker. And the next thing you hear is Styles like, "Where you at, dead man? I'm waiting for you." And you hear a motorcycle in the background, and right then you knew that the American Badass Undertaker was back. And unpopular opinion here, that was my favorite Undertaker. That was my favorite persona of the Undertaker, and that's partially because I was raised in a biker family. I love everything to do with motorcycles. So I thoroughly enjoyed seeing the American Badass Undertaker back. But that's not even scratching the surface of what they did with this match. What they did with this match that made it so amazing was they took advantage of not having a crowd. So the match wasn't in the arena. The match was out in some little setup they had. Ugh. It was out in some little setup they had. And they really just went all out with this, taking advantage of the whole no crowd thing. So they knew if they did it in the arena, the match could have fell into a flop, just like most of the matches did for that night. But, like I said, they did it out in the setup. And it was like watching... And I say... The way I say this sounds bad. It was watching like a B-movie fight scene in a biker movie. And I'm not putting that in a bad way. I'm putting that in a good way. They really did a good job of making that match exciting and entertaining by giving it a different view, like a movie standpoint view, which I don't really enjoy when WWE does that. They did the whole, broken Matt Hardy at the whatever fucking house, and I didn't enjoy that. But the way they did this with the American Badass Undertaker just coming out, from the beginning they made it like any kind of action movie. The Undertaker was the good guy, obviously, and he came out looking strong, then got beat up, and then came back looking unbeatable, and it was just great. If you don't watch WrestleMania because of the audience, go back and watch just specifically that match. And one thing that match is doing for me that I think is going to be really nice is it's making me excited for the John Cena Bray Wyatt match, because they're having kind of a similar thing. It's not going to be in the arena. It's going to be a Firefly Funhouse match. I'm excited to see what they do with that. But overall, 1 out of 5 stars. What do I give WrestleMania Night 1, Part 1, whatever you want to call it? I give it a 2 out of 5, only because the Undertaker AJ Styles match brought that up to a 2. If that match wasn't on the card, it would be like a 0 because I wasn't interested in the entire thing. But that match kept me interested. That match made it entertaining to watch. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night on April 5th for WrestleMania Part 2 2020. And as always, let me get this turned the right way here. Stay motherfucking drunk, y'all.